Um, right, so our next speaker. Woo! Okay, it's past bedtime for most people. Right, so our next speaker is Septian Fajar. Right, so Fajar is a program manager of Project Child Indonesia. They provide alternative education for underprivileged kids in Yogyakarta. One of the programs that they run is the Internet Literacy Program. It is a program that educates children, parents, and teachers about safe and responsible internet usage. Tonight, he will speak about how we can create a safe online environment for young generation. Please help me to welcome Septian Fajar.
Yay. Okay, so I will start my talk with a question. Please raise your hand if you ever illegally download something from the internet. Be honest. Yep, you guys did. I did it too. Please raise your hand if you guys are on Tinder or Grindr, OKC, or any other dating apps. No? You guys kidding? We live in we live in a digital era where internet has grown astronomically. By smartphone in our hand, laptop in our lap, we basically can access the world. From checking your ex status on Facebook, looking for your research resources, buying flight ticket to Bali, or just looking for summer fling on Tinder. Unless you live in the North Korea, it's easy for us to be connected. And we are privileged. We are privileged enough that we are born when internet is already in a very good way. Because we are smart and mature enough to process the content. But how about the post-millennials? How about the alpha generation, the digital native that was born when internet has already existed? It is in Indonesia. From 256 million of Indonesian people, half of them are using the internet today. Even if our internet is sucks, I know. But 13.3 million of them are using the internet is the underage kids, more than the whole population of Belgium. They can access the same thing that can you access right now from porn site, gambling site, fake news, or everything in the internet. At the very young age, they are highly penetrated by the internet. But here in Indonesia, the digital iteration is very low. It's almost not existed. This makes children remain one of the most vulnerable group of people to understand the risk and also the benefit of the internet. I talk with teachers from public schools in Yogyakarta. I met mothers who raise their kids in the riverbanks. What is their concern and their fear when the kids are close with the internet? They mentioned so many things. The most common answer is porn. They're always afraid with porn. And the other answer is bad influence and being addicted with it. They very anxious until they forget that actually they are the one who provide the internet to the kids. They don't know how to educate the kids because it's also a new thing for them. Another question, do you guys remember when was the first time you guys watched porn? As I remember, I did it when I was 15. But kids this day watch since they are 6. It is not because they stole their parents' private collection like what I did, but they watch it from the smartphone, like their very own smartphone from their parents. Even if they cannot afford for it, they can go to the internet cafe, which is very cheap. It costs just less than $1 for an hour. So from this, we found a gap about how fast the expansion of technology with the very low digital literacy. There is a growing stigma. In fact, I believe that internet is very useful for educational resources, both for the children and also the teachers. But the teachers decide to cut the internet connection with the children. In the school, they cut off the Wi-Fi. They cut all the internet connection because they're afraid. So I'm talking about internet literacy. What is internet literacy actually? What's the deal? It is not just the ability to access the internet, but also to understand, to critique, and being responsible on what you create, on what you're taking online. But the most important thing, it also encompasses about the social norms and the social values that are related with it. So we came up with an idea how to solve the problem, how to fill the gap. When the teachers try to cut the connection, we try to juxtapose the problem with the subject, in this case, the children. We partnered with Gameloft, a tech company from France, to together we create a computer lab in public schools in Yogyakarta. We connect them with Wi-Fi. Supported by 70 volunteers that work for us for this movement right now, we run a weekly program. We teach them not how to safely remove your USB stick from the laptop, but it's more for the internet ethics, how to be responsible users, how to be a smart users. We already implement this program into 3 pilot schools in Yogyakarta, and this week in Yogyakarta, we run 8 full active schools. And we realize kids these days are freaking smart. They are full of curiosity and they know how to fulfill it. And we cannot just try to repeatedly saying to brainwash them, kids, you're gonna watch porn, don't watch porn, don't watch porn. Isn't that work that way? We have to shift their curiosities to something that relevant into their daily life. For instance, how to solve a math problem, or how to create a campaign from crowdfunding source to renovate their library. We also introduce them to coding. The language of future, they say. We try to create a simple animation and a simple game. But moreover, why we have to do this? Because we want to tell them about how to create a safe environment for themselves, because they still don't aware that sometimes their identity being online could be dangerous for them. Maybe you don't realize it too, but you have to create a safe environment. So we talk with them about their habit using the social media. And these pictures, we also invite the parents, we invite the teachers to create several workshops to educate them about the current issues and preventive action. To again, together create a resilient internet users. That's the key. That's the collaboration between the teachers, between the parents, and us as the facilitators. Because we just spend just like 2 or 3 hours per week, but the teachers spend, and the parents, even more the parents, spend their time longer with the kids. So what is our goal actually? Our goal is to raise the awareness that internet is not all about porn, it's not about bad things. It's very useful education, powerful technology, and we want to keep the education value and useful. But economically, Indonesia is very racing in the internet world, which is evolving rapidly. And we believe to give these children a proper way to learn the internet could be very beneficial for Indonesian future workforce, which is very tight. But social-wise, why I do this? Because I believe that porn are dangerous, I know, but racism and hate speech are even more dangerous. I really don't want to see the kids highly influenced by those racism content, by those hate speech that keeps spreading all over the Twitter, all over the Facebook, because we don't believe at the same God, because we don't have the same color skin. And then you realize it or not, it will generating a disrespectful generation. And I don't want to see my kids will be the bad person in the future. Last but not least, in no small measure, why we are in the urge of internet literacy right now is because, as cliche as it sounds, but children, they are the future of the country, they are the leader, they are the future leader for this country and for this world. Sorry, not sorry, but I don't want to have a president who talking about sexist, racist, and ranting all over in Twitter instead of working. Thank you.
So relieved, eh?
Finally.
Finally.